What's up, guys?
What
Hey.
up?
Oh man, the week
How are
that
y'all?
was Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
One superb owl.
Oh man,
Fucking magnificent hawk, I guess.
Vince was super excited about it.
The
I took the
Seahawks,
best photo of it,
Seahawks
but
winning in
Yeah.
the San Francisco Levi Stadium.
Yeah. I knew I was not going to be happy either way. I came to terms with that, basically when the teams were set. I knew that no matter what happens, I was not going to be thrilled with whoever won. Like I knew that was going to be the case. So I made peace with that. And so basically the way I justified this in my mind was either so I look at, outside factors. And I know that Robert Kraft is a big funder of He Who Must Not Be Named. And Jody Allen is not the owner of the Seahawks. So in my mind, by the Patriots losing, both the dipshit in the White House and me are not happy. So at least if I'm going down, I'm taking that son of a bitch with me. So there we are. Okay. So that's how I'm justifying not pitching myself off of the fucking roof right now. Is at least he's not happy either. Okay. So there we go.
oh man,
There we are.
I mean,
there it is.
I'm
happy.
with the Sea Chickens. I'm happy that they won. I know for a fact that Sam's happy. They're already going to work. Kubiak already landed in Vegas, so it seems like the ball is rolling. He announced that right after the game. He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a Raider coach." I was like,
He was on the field, bro.
"Yeah." He didn't waste no time. So,
So what did you guys think of the
Overall,
game?
yeah, overall, I think that game was kind of what I thought it was going to be. It was I thought it was going to be like a defensive slugfest. It was. I was not expecting the first touchdown, though, to be a pick, though, or a strip. But our friend, her cousin, was it cousin, I believe it was, right?
Yeah, her cousin.
Was the one that got that strip. That's pretty cool.
The scoop and score. Yeah.
Yep.
Felt good for her, good for her. That's, love that.
I think they gave him an interception on that.
Yeah.
Did they? Okay.
Because it didn't technically hit the
It
ground.
didn't touch the ground, so he
Yeah.
got a pick six technically.
Yeah. Either way, that's definitely not, that he may still be holding on to that ball. It's been 24 hours, like, yeah. So I mean, Seattle, obviously they earned it. We can go through our little fun games. Because we said it last week. The only reason I was picking the Patriots was for our silly little game for the points to stay alive, because I knew you were picking the Seahawks. When we went to our prop bets and we were picking the scores, I actually picked Seattle to win 24-17. Tyler, you had them winning 27-21. Sam, you had them in a higher scoring game, 31-27. So in terms of total points, I only had the game at 41 points. The final score was 29-13, which was 42 points. So I actually was closest to the pin on that one. So credit to me there for being right on a little bit of a lower scoring affair, at least on the Patriots end of it, really helping me there, helping me out on that part. Seattle +7. I actually had the widest gap there. Sam, you had them +4. Tyler, you had them +6. They actually said Disneyland instead of Disney World for the commercial, which was a little bit of a surprise. So we all had World. Let's see. The Gatorade dump was yellow. So Sam, you got that point there. Bad Bunny sung 12 songs, plus Lady Gaga had a song and Ricky Martin had a song. Sam, you had 7 songs. Tyler, you had 8. I had 10 songs, so I get the point there. All 3 of us had an extra guest showing up, so we all get a point. Will a kicker hit the upright or crossbar? We all said no, so we all just draw even on that one. Didn't matter. What team will score first? Seattle scored first. I'm the only one that said New England. I thought New England would score first and then not score again. Basically, was what I thought would happen. Or oops. The first commercial was insurance, so both of you had that. I thought food would come first. The coin flip was heads. Me and Tyler had that. Uh, I did not see a player or a coach cry during the national anthem. It doesn't matter because all three of us said yes, so there was no differentiating.
Dude, that was so funny. I was in the kitchen and I was talking to our friend, and I just hear Vince say, "Cry, you son of a bitch."
Yeah, there was a couple of guys were getting close, but I did not see a tear on camera, so I couldn't count it. And then the national anthem over under 125.5 seconds. It came under because Charlie Puth didn't hold the last note. He cut it off real quick. He was holding a lot of other notes. I thought he was going to go over, but he cut it off real quick at the end there. So it did end up going under. Sam was the only one that had the under. So total overall, Sam, you had 8 points there. I had 8 points, and Tyler, you had 7 points. So it was very close on our prop bets. They mean nothing. But for our overall game, Tyler, you ended up winning overall. So congratulations. When you factor in all of the preseason points and just the pick'ems throughout, you were able to squeak by. Sam, you ended up in second place, and I ended up in last because I tried to go big or go home with the Patriots upset, even though I knew it wasn't going to happen. So there you go. Oopsies. All right. So that puts the 2025 season to bed. We're going to save that file so we can reference it in the future and close that up.
See you guys in LA next year.
Yeah. Okay. With that being said, I believe it's time for Sam to talk a little bit about his new coach, I would think, right? Is that what's happening next? Yep. Warm them handies up, buddy. Start talking. You got a new coach.
We got a new coach. It's official. I think Tim's going to queue up a video. So we got a little video. Tyler alluded to it earlier. We got the video of Clint Kubiak getting off that jet plane, heading over to the Raiders facilities. There we go. So, yeah, we're going to see him get off the airplane here. Breaking news on the podcast. So I see myself, Tim. I don't see the video. Oh, okay. Here we go. Yeah, it's a shorty. Yeah, so basically he just gets off the plane there, and you got the whole Raider front office greeting him. So John Spytek is there, their families are there. So you see the kids all in Raiders gear. After the game last night, Clint Kubiak was asked by reporter, you going to Las Vegas? And he's like, I'm gonna enjoy tonight. And it just he goes, I mean, you guys know I'm going. Hell yeah, I'm going. And then it came out that they agreed on a 5-year deal, which makes sense because that's kind of the timeline with John Spytek has 4 years left on his deal. So you're trying to, keep those guys locked up. They actually have a history together working in Denver for Clinton Kubiak's dad. So they actually had a relationship back in Denver. I just think it's just really exciting, man, that you get a coach that obviously just won the Super Bowl, but you saw the efficiency throughout the season with Sam Darnold and the offensive line improvements. Jackson Smith and Jigba winning Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, just the tight end play that he got out of the Seattle offense. all of those skill positions are with the Raiders. You got Brock Bowers, you got Ashton Genty, you got some young guys. I think just by having a better offensive coordinator and any other offensive line coach not named Carroll, the offensive line is going to be a lot better. So I think it's just a very exciting time, man, to pair up Clint Kubiak with what I'm going to assume is going to be Fernando Mendoza, to have a young quarterback, a young running back, a young tight end room, and rebuilding this offensive line. So I'm really excited for it. I'm juiced. It finally feels like the Raiders got a win. There's a lot of things that they need to do to continue that success. They got to get through free agency. They got to get through the draft, and build out their coaching staff. So there's a lot to do. But today it feels really good. And what quick story is, like, I was going around doing my rounds on job sites and things like that. And I was like noticing at like my regular spots where I pick up materials, there's like a bunch of people wearing Raider gear. And like people were excited. We got our coach. Like, so people were just excited to wear it. Obviously, we just want to see some wins now. I saw Papa G had a comment in the chat, or a question about patience. I think you have to, because you have to be patient with Kubiak, because if you pull the trigger after 1 or 2 years, like whatever juice you have to lure a top tier head coach or offensive coordinator, whatever, to the Raiders, like it was already rough enough, because you do have that history of like moving on from coaches. It's going to take them some time. It's going to take them some time. This whole roster is getting reset, and it's going to take him some time to grow into the head coach. So I don't think the first year, I don't think I'm expecting 10 wins, 11 wins. I've said this before, you got to learn how to walk before you run. So we need to get these players just up to speed. We just need to see efficient offense. We need to see efficient quarterback play, and a running game that gets established. That's why you took Ashton Genty, and we saw flashes of it. I think everybody who watched it, you see the flash, you see the talent. You just need to stick with it. And I think we're going to see some big changes. I'm juiced. I'm pumped. I can't wait to see the press conference tomorrow. So I'll probably do some type of reaction video to that tomorrow evening, because it's really exciting for us. It's about damn time that, this thing is pointing in the right direction. And that's all I got, man. I'm just really excited that Clint Kubiak's going to be leading this future Raider team.
Yeah, man. I think the energy is palpable. I think if you're a Raiders fan at this point, just because I think this is a good hire. I don't know if I necessarily agreed with the McDaniels hire or the Pete Carroll hire. I think the Pete Carroll hire made sense to me because of Geno Smith, but then when you start finding out how his sons were doing, taking job positions, and it just wasn't ever going to work. So I think it's a good day to be a Raiders fan today.
When the general manager is watching film with the rookies because the offensive line coach doesn't watch film with the offensive line, red flag.
Major.
There's a major problem when the general manager is sitting with the rookie class watching film. That's a problem. So thank God those guys are done. They're not in the building anymore. And I think just by having competent coaching, like, you're going to see an improvement in some of these young guys. So
yeah, man. I heard also too in the pipeline here that just full circle here on all of our teams here, that Vic is probably going to retire next year, from what it sounds like. And it sounds like they're keeping the job open for Jim Schwartz. So
right, because he left Cleveland all pissed off because he didn't get a head coach job. Yep.
Yeah. So he was in contact with the Eagles, and then it sounds like when they heard that Vic was coming back, he's gonna sit out the season this year, and it sounds like we're gonna have him next year. So
Yeah, because Cleveland has 1 year on his deal, unless a team trades for him.
Well, no, he left. He's gone. So he's I think the second that the Browns hired their head coach, he was like, I'm out. So,
No, I know, but he's still under contract with the Browns, even
Yeah.
though he resigned. He can't coach this year technically because he still has a contract with the Browns. So it's being reported that unless a team really wants him, they could trade for him, or he has to get released.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I don't see anybody trading for him. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
No, he's gonna be a highly desired defensive coordinator if he becomes available this year or next year.
Yeah. Some news from the 49ers as well. They it came out over Super Bowl week that they will be playing in Australia. So that's fun. They they're not going to be the home team either. They're going to be playing the Rams. So the Rams, while they are technically losing a home game, they were already going to lose that home game to the Niners anyway, because that's Levi's South. So you might as well just put that game on the road and then play it in front of a neutral crowd where there's 32, where there's going to be fans of 32 different teams. And then maybe you just catch the generic home crowd or whatever. And maybe
depending
it won't
on
be
like
quite
what
as
time of year that happens, that actually might be a really fun game to go to.
Yeah, I have a feeling that that's probably going to be an opener, because it's such a weird time zone shift, because it's like a 20-hour flight or whatever. Like, it's so far that you almost have to have it at the beginning of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard Christian
it has to
McCaffrey's
be
not too juiced about it.
If it's not at the beginning of the year, you either have to have it scheduled around a bye, or and even then it's going to be too brutal. Like, I think otherwise,
I can't see them playing the game in fall or wintertime here, because it's going to be super
summer.
hot over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Other hemisphere. So it would have to be September, which is springtime. So at that point down there, we're entering fall up here at that point. They'll be just going into spring. So we'll get a little spring football for the Niners and Rams.
I say we go.
You know what? The thought had crossed my mind. I'm not going to lie. Depending on when the game happens and how much it costs, there was a little part of me that's like, ooh, that'd be kind of a fun trip. But
did they ever announce where they're going to play in Australia?
Melbourne.
It's where?
Melbourne.
Oh, okay. They're going to play Melbourne.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'd be a pretty cool place to go. And then, like if I turned it into like a whole, fly over to New Zealand and check out all the hobbit holes and stuff too, and just do like a whole, freaking trip out of it. That'd be really cool, right? But that would be a really like that would take a lot of time and stuff. So I have to know when this game is, and the NFL.
Either we could go see Uncle Brian.
I was just thinking that, man. We can go see Brian. Go kick it with him. I got a couple friends out there too, but yeah, we can go kick it with Brian. That's what I want to know, but unfortunately, where the game's being played, it's like 5 hours away from where he lives. I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, also, the not so cool breaking news happening today was, because there was a football game, there was a Niners injury, and defensive lineman Keon White was shot in the ankle. He was an innocent bystander at this point, is what it sounds like. He's gonna be okay. He had surgery. There was an altercation apparently between two groups. White was not believed to be part of the altercation. He just happened to be nearby and was caught in the crossfire apparently. So Fucking hell, man. Getting it, like injuries are happening to the Niners even when they're not playing games. At this
Literally
point.
catching strays.
Catching strays, literal strays.
No, that's really messed up.
It's really messed up though, and
really.
I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad it's not a serious injury. I'm glad he's gonna be okay. Yeah. So, just like like, honestly, I'm glad it's not as I'm glad it's not a serious injury. I'm glad that it's like I'm just glad it's gonna be okay. That's really the long story short. Is it's not too terrible. I'm glad we can make our silly little jokes about it because it's not a serious injury. Is really what it comes down to.
Is it being reported he like needs surgery or
he did have surgery on the ankle, but it's not going to like he had surgery earlier this afternoon, he came out of surgery a couple hours ago, I think is what the last report I saw said. So they're just the 49ers released the statement at 4:30 is what they said. He's currently undergoing surgery at a local hospital, and the further updates will be as they come. So
right.
So far so good is the update that we have. And it sounds like he's going to be fine. So, and that's the good news. That's the most important news.
Right.
Thank fuck. All right.
Yeah, and that's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. And I just, I can't believe this, I can't, oh my God, it's the most unfortunate luck. And, to just be an innocent bystander, it's not even comparable to the Ricky Pearsall situation. Because and Ricky didn't do anything wrong either. Ricky was just a victim in his circumstance.
Robbed, right?
He was getting robbed. Yeah, somebody tried to rob Ricky, and he was a victim there, and Keon White was just nearby and got shot. So this sucks, as well. So son of a bitch. Okay. But the most important thing is it sounds like he's going to be okay, and just good thoughts, juju, prayers, whatever you send his way, and that's that's the most important thing. Is it sounds like he's gonna be all right, and we're gonna move on, and hopefully next year, not nearly as many bad things are gonna happen on and off the field to the Niners, and maybe we're going to be able to, play a Super Bowl in Levi South. We didn't get to play in our
man.
stadium.
The Raiders and Niners play.
We didn't get to play in our home stadium. Maybe we'll get to play in our summer home stadium, our vacation home stadium.
They stopped allowing these teams to play each other.
I know, right? Fuck. All right. Okay. Anything else football we need to go over? Or
did you do the
awards?
The awards and Hall of Fame?
We didn't even talk about the awards. Yeah. So they announced the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So your inductees for this coming August, I guess, is when they're gonna get enshrined, is Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger fucking Craig finally getting in, man. Is the senior committee inductee. So that's a long time coming. I've been banging the drum for that guy forever. And damn, he's the first guy ever to have 1,000 receiving and 1,000 rushing in a season. He was one of the Niner greats a long time ago. He was Christian McCaffrey before Christian McCaffrey. For those of you who don't know, the young kids, he was one of the first guys to ever be like a dual threat. Catching balls from out of the backfield. The West Coast offense, it worked so well because of Roger Craig. Roger Craig is the reason why these pass catching running backs are such a huge staple in the NFL right now. Like, he was the blueprint for that. And it's about damn time he gets into the Hall. So
for sure.
I'm so glad that he finally gets his due. So yeah. All right. Anything else to say about the rest of these guys, man? I mean, Adam Vinatieri, a kicker getting in. Obviously that's rare, but you know, if there is going to be a kicker to get in,
He was definitely getting in.
it's going to be Adam Vinatieri. So I mean, that makes sense.
Let me ask you guys this: do you think Eli Manning gets in?
I think in a down year, he does get in. I don't know when.
I only ask that because Plunkett is still the only 2-time winning quarterback that's not in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Yeah.
Is,
yeah. It's yeah. I think Plunkett deserves to be in. And I think Eli's gonna get in before Plunkett is what's gonna happen. But once Eli gets in, that's when people are gonna start shouting really loudly about Plunkett, and then the old timers committee is gonna right that wrong.
I hope so.
I think that's how that's gonna shake out.
I hope so.
And
he should have been in a long time ago.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. I agree. There's because first and foremost, we said this about other Hall of Fames, right? The Hall of Fame, first and foremost, is a museum. And
yep.
How do you tell the story about the Raiders in the 70s and 80s without telling the story of Jim Plunkett, right? And those Raiders teams are integral about, like, how do you tell the story of the NFL without telling the story about those Raiders teams, right?
Well, before they went into the gutter,
yeah,
you know, they were known as the team of the decades because they were a winning franchise, and it was a lot of those teams were because of the Jim Plunkett Super Bowl teams.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
to answer your question, I do think Eli does eventually get in. I think it's going to be in one of those down years where there's where maybe the first time ballot guys, those names probably aren't as elite, I think, and that's when he's going to sneak in. When you're looking, you know, I actually I think I might have this somewhere. I'm looking at I think I took a screen cap. There's that's not it. There was a I was looking for the first ballot Hall of Famers coming up next year. I can't find it right now, but there was only 2 of them, I think, that were like, you know, absolute locks, I think, for next year. So maybe next year's ballot.
I was genuinely impressed that oh my god, why did I just draw a blank? I had his name. The UNC head coach, the Patriots head coach,
Bill Belichick.
So surprised he didn't get in. Like,
yeah, that one.
I know he probably rubbed people the wrong way, but he's still one of the most winningest coaches ever.
Yeah, and there's a couple of things that I think happened there. I think he pissed off a few, you know, a couple of people, so they kind of left him off the ballot, and then a couple of other voters, I think, thought to themselves, you know what, I'm sure he's gonna get in. He doesn't really need my vote. I'm probably gonna give a little love to some of the other guys, I think, and then enough of those guys, you know, in combination, didn't have him on the ballot, and suddenly he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is a goddamn joke. So yeah, I think that's how that ended up happening there. But to be fair, at least Robert Kraft didn't get in either. So, you know, so we don't have the really super freaking awkward situation of both of them. Where one gets in and the other doesn't, you know.
I think they'll probably both get in next year is what I'm.
Yeah, I think that's probably what happens next year, is that gets rectified next year.
Or do they wait so it's Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Kraft?
Just make it an all Patriots one.
You gotta wait, Gronk, because Gronk's eligible next year.
Yeah. So Gronk, maybe, you know what? Maybe they just make next year Oops All Patriots Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the rest of the awards for this year, MVP was Matthew Stafford. I think that ends up being the right choice, especially looking back on how the season ended. Comeback player of the year was Christian McCaffrey. Offensive player of the year was Jackson Smith and Jigba. Defensive player of the year was Myles Garrett. Coach of the year was Mike Vrabel. Offensive rookie of the year was Tedero McMillan. Defensive rookie of the year was Carson Schweisinger. And then protector of the year. This is the first year they're giving out an award to an offensive lineman, guard Joe Thuney of the Chicago Bears. So finally giving the offensive lineman, the big uglies getting some love. It's about damn time.
That's awesome. I like to have award now.
Yeah, it's about damn time, man. All right. So there we go. There's your awards, and I think we can put a bow on the season.
That's it.
Yeah. Woo. Okay. Let's move on to basketball, I guess. Is that what we got next? All right, let's do basketball. Let's talk Warriors. We also Steph got injured. We didn't actually talk about this last week because it happened last week. We could have talked about it. It happened in the last game of last week, so we could have talked about it, but we didn't. He did get injured in that game last week, but so he's gonna be out through the All-Star break. So he's gonna miss the All-Star game. They went 1 win, 2 losses over the last week. They lose versus Philly. That one was a bit of a blowout. Philly doesn't have Paul George. He's serving a 25-game suspension for violating the league's drug use policy. They do turn around and get a win at Phoenix, and then they spin right back around and lose at the Lakers on Saturday. I didn't update the win-loss record, but they are 28-25 as they're playing Memphis right now. That game is about to tip off in the next few minutes. Then they have the San Antonio Spurs on Wednesday, and then we head for the All-Star break. Games are going to resume next Thursday. That's the 19th of February against Boston. And that is when Kristaps Porzingis is going to make his debut. That's right. We can start talking about the trade deadline. And with that, Kristaps Porzingis was acquired in exchange for Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield from Atlanta. That's a trade. I don't know.
I do want to say.
Go ahead.
I do want to say, obviously, I don't think Kristaps Porzingis was the Warriors' first choice. I know the Warriors did want to try and get him a couple years back, before he signed with Boston or got with Boston.
Yeah.
I just think that Milwaukee, I don't know what the league could do, in my opinion, but I feel like Milwaukee shysted the Warriors and maybe a couple other teams because they were never going to trade Giannis ever. It was never going to happen. So the fact that the Warriors were talking to get Jaren Jackson, right?
It's exactly where I was going to go.
And then they put it on the back burner because they thought that they still had a chance with Giannis. And then Utah swooped in and took Jaren Jackson. The Warriors, basically didn't get a chance to call and say, hey, look, Giannis isn't going to happen until literally the last minute of the clock there. So I think the Warriors pivoted and got Kristaps Porzingis because even Kuminga and his agency said that Atlanta wasn't even on their radar. Like they had no clue that he was going to go to Atlanta. So I don't know what the league could do. I just felt that Milwaukee did a really dirty move, and I think that's just a shitty thing to do all around.
I mean, when I heard that article, the rumor that the Warriors were in on Jaren Jackson Jr. and they were like passed it up because they thought they were getting Giannis. I was like, I'd rather have Jaren Jackson Jr. because he's younger.
Yeah. I mean,
you have him under contract and he's younger and he still has the opportunity to get better.
Exactly. And I don't know if Draymond was going to be gone, but Jaren Jackson, he's a good defensive player. Like, I think that the people misunderstand that when they say like, oh, he's really good at rebounding and he can shoot the three, but he also led his team in blocks for multiple seasons. So I think Jaren Jackson also being able to he was with Steve Kerr for the Olympics, well, leading up to the Olympics, I should say, for the World Championships. It was just a good fit, and I think Milwaukee really shysted the Warriors and a couple other teams that thought they had a chance at him. So I don't know.
Got somebody in the chat that said, "Hey, how do you guys feel about the Chiefs? We got a Raider fan, an Eagle fan, and a 49er fan."
I think the Chiefs. I think Kelsey is on the wrong side. I think Kelsey's on his way out. He's. I think Patrick Mahomes. I think the offense is actually probably going to revert back a little bit. The offense is going to be a little bit better next year because they got rid of the offensive coordinator that was holding them back for the last couple of years, and they got Eric Bieniemy back. So I'm actually a little bit concerned about the Chiefs, if I'm being honest. That's genuinely. That's actually genuinely what I think. That's actually genuinely what I think. I'm lightweight concerned about the Chiefs.
I'm not concerned about Mahomes.
If they can,
Mahomes, Andy Reid,
Eric Bieniemy's back. Eric Bieniemy's back.
You got draft capital.
Yeah,
you got some wiggle room on the salary cap, so like they could be dangerous.
Yeah, especially if they get a little bit of help, and if Rashee Rice doesn't do something stupid again in the offseason, and if they get him a little help. I don't know about winning another 3 pieces.
I don't know about another 3 pieces.
I don't know about that. I really hope not. I may just go hold my head underwater till the bubbles stop coming if that happens. But yeah, okay. All right. We're having a lot of fun though with that. Let's we're gonna hop back to this to the Warriors with the trade deadline though. Oh man,
Kristaps Porzingis does very little on the exciting meter. He's probably going to give you a stretch of games that you're like, wow, this is great, and then something's going to happen, and he's going to get hurt, he's going to get sick, like something's.
Well, here's the thing: he's got pots, so like, you know what I mean? Like, basically, the combination of Potts and he has dealing with a Christian McCaffrey kind of thing where he has Achilles tendonitis like all the time. So people are like, what's his availability going to be like? Probably not great.
Yeah, you spin a wheel.
To be honest with you, you know, yeah. I think you're going to probably have some nights where he's playing, and then I forgot our other center that we picked up in the offseason. Both of them are just
Horford.
I don't know if they're going to play or not.
So, Al Horford?
Yeah.
Al Horford. So, yeah. I mean, if they can get a healthy center, it might be different. But, okay, the rest of the trade deadline, though, with the NBA, God, there was a lot of – it was actually kind of busy. The trade deadline was actually busy for a change, so that was nice. God, there was the we already talked a little bit about the Jaren Jackson
moved again.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthony Davis gets moved. Cleveland gets James Harden. Nikola Vucevic goes to Boston for Anthony Simons and a second rounder. Washington ends up getting stuck with Anthony Davis. But also was it Jalen Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum in exchange for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley, and then like a whole bunch of picks as well. So like that's
I read Anthony Davis wants to get bought out and then try to re-sign with the Lakers.
Okay.
I could see that. D'Angelo, I heard, is not going to report to the Wizards. It's like he wants to get bought out too. So
okay.
He wants to go back to the Lakers too.
Nobody wants to go to the Wizards.
This is such a Washington trade. Dante Exum, who was a former first-round pick, who left the league to go play back in Australia because he sucked. Marvin Bagley, who thought that he was going to be the next All-Pro, not All-Pro, All-Star power forward center. banked on himself and didn't get paid at all. So he's washed goods at this point. I mean, what a crazy, stupid pick this is. I think your best piece out of this is probably Chris Middleton and Jaden Hardy, because Jaden Hardy's an untapped potential, and Chris.
Yeah,
Middleton's,
I mean, and you got they're going. That's basically 1-for-1 at this point.
Yeah, that's a terrible trade.
Oh yeah, that's just a whole lot of mess. I mean, Mike
Did you
Conley
hear
and
that,
Kobe.
Did you
what?
hear that the group that owns the Mavericks, they're looking to possibly sell the team
Already?
To Mark Cuban, they're like, we're fucking done.
Mark Cuban
Already?
said he might buy the team again.
He might buy him back, buy out the yeah. Oh,
With
man.
their own money.
Yeah. Oh, good
all right,
decision. Anyways, I'm
let's
sorry.
see.
Go ahead.
Charlotte is trying to get a little serious. They get Kobe White and Mike Conley from Chicago in exchange for Colin Sexton and 3 second-round picks and Ousmane Dieng. And let's see.
So Mike Conley, is it Mike Conley I'm thinking about, or I think it's Mike Conley. I think he's being bought out, and he's going to go back to Minnesota.
Okay. Because he got traded to Chicago earlier in the week as well, right?
Right, and I think Chicago's going to buy him out, and then he's going to go sign with Minnesota.
That was weird. Yeah.
OKC getting Jared McCain. Jared McCain, that feels like an OKC player to me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And in exchange for like a first-round pick and then 3 second-round picks as well, so the rich get richer. Cool. Love that. Thanks, Philly. Anyway.
That is a Philly model, though. The Eagles just load up on draft picks.
Yeah. All right. So there's your draft deadline. There were other draft moves made too, but whatever. Jimmy Butler had successful surgery. Cool. See you next year, bud. Yeah. I mean, what else do we need to say? Like, I'm glad his surgery was successful. He's not going to be back this year. He's not going to help us.
Let's look at the makeup of this, right?
Yeah.
So you got Kristaps Porzingis next season.
Yep.
You've got Jimmy Butler next season.
Yep.
You got Steph Curry. You got Draymond.
Yep.
I mean, does that team on paper sound like a team that's going to compete for another championship? Like, I hate to break it to you, but I think something has to happen in the offseason dramatically.
I think that team smells like they could compete for a 5 seed. They could really push for a 5 seed, and that's about it. Like,
I tell you right now, 5 years ago, that team on paper was a pretty dominant team.
Yeah,
5 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
now.
No.
It's
with Porzingis. It's just the injuries and the illnesses throughout his career. And to no fault of his own, his body betrayed him on this POTS disease. I'd never even heard of it until I read about it a couple years ago when he got it.
Yeah.
So it's just really unfortunate. But how many games are you going to get out of him next year? Another year under the belt around the sun, and what are you going to get? When healthy, yeah, he's awesome, but I don't know if you're getting that player right now.
I don't think so.
And then with Jimmy Butler coming off of that injury, and
his age,
you're aging. Are you going to be the same Jimmy Butler this season? Or are you going to lose a step or lose a little bit somewhere, So you're already a degrading player and you didn't really have a shot. You manufactured a lot of things, you distributed the ball. So how does that impact everybody, And at some point, as much as we don't want to accept it, at some point, the decline for Steph Curry is going to happen. At some point, that's going to happen. And if it ain't this year, then at some point it'll happen next year, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
it's just
I think it's fortunate for
Draymond.
Curry that he's a 3-point shooter. So most players learn to develop a 3-point shot because they just don't have the explosiveness.
No, I think the shot will always be there for him, but it's everything else. It's how many miles he runs in a game when you're over 40 years old or whatever, running around, 6 miles in a basketball game. I think you're going to get to a point where like he's not in back-to-backs. You're going to see minutes restrictions because of those knees, because of like how much he runs. And then Draymond, like, his body is starting to break down too, where like, all the years of taking on other teams' center and being undersized and willing to do all that dirty work. He's not the same Draymond that he was last year, even, so you have an aging roster and Father Time's undefeated, man. It's just not a Warriors team that I'm as constructed going forward that I'm like, oh yeah, this team's going to be competitive as hell when they're healthy.
Yep.
Like it feels like you couldn't get, you missed on all these other trades, the Giannis and whatever. You missed on it. So to me, it was like, all right, well, Porzingis is an expiring contract, and we get rid of Jonathan Kuminga. Like it's done. Like we just want it done. Like you probably could have got more in the summer, in the off season when maybe he gets a couple of games with the Warriors and he restores that value. But like the time to trade him was like last year or 2 years ago. So they whiffed, and it is what it is. It is what it is. We all knew this team was going to age out, but yeah, it's a nothing burger, dude. It doesn't feel very exciting at all.
So with Kuminga being traded and Moody being on the team still, Moody is the last player from Bob Myers' last draft that he did with the Warriors. So Moody's the last one, last Mohican,
last man standing. Yeah.
And I can honestly see him being traded in the offseason too. So,
he probably has the most value still, though. Like so
exactly.
If they do trade him, they might actually get something worth
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with all the with Porzingis coming off the books and making some moves, you could get under all these aprons and maybe do something to add a superstar in the offseason. But depending on who that superstar is, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Man, it's going to be tough. Okay. Anything else for the Warriors? I mean, right now they're currently sitting, in the play-in tournament still. That's where they're sitting.
I think that's where they'll end up.
Yeah, that kind of would make sense. It's a play-in tournament. They may or may not win their way into the playoffs, and then they'll have to play Oklahoma City probably, and then it's a thank you for participating in the 2026 playoffs and have a nice day, and we'll see you next season. So, fuck. All right. Okay. That being said, upcoming games, like I said, they're currently playing Memphis. That game just tipped off, and they play San Antonio on Wednesday, and then you have the All-Star break. So, that game, the Memphis game, they're literally 5 minutes into it right now. It's not even worth talking about it right now at this point. So we'll talk about it a little more next week. Okay, so the Sharkies, they did have 2 more games happen right before they started their Olympic break. They did lose both of those games. They lost at Chicago on Monday. Chicago jumped out to a 4-0 lead. They did end up getting goals by Will Smith, Macklin Celebrini, and Shakir McMillan. Askarov got chased in the second after allowing that 4th goal. And then Nedeljkovic looked a bit better. He did look a lot better in cleanup duty. That usually tends to happen though when those situations arise. It kind of wakes the defense up a bit, and the defense plays a little bit better whenever they do, replace the goalie mid game. It just kind of, for whatever reason, that's just kind of how it just kind of shakes the team alive a little bit. It's kind of it's the ripcord that the coaches can pull when the situation gets really bad. And from that point on, you take away those 4 goals, the Sharks win that game 3-2. So, I mean, they did play a little bit better after that, from that point on, but it was still not a pretty game. But then they go to Colorado. They do end up losing that game as well, 4-2. They looked a lot better in that game. They ended up losing that one a little bit later, but they, we went in expecting them to not come away with the win there. They're currently sitting in 11th in the West. They're 5 points out of the second wild card spot right now. They're sitting at 58 points. They're, 5 points. That's, 2.5 games basically is the way you look at that. They're 2.5 games out of the wild card spot. That's not too far out. They can still turn it around. We're 3 weeks. Basically it's a 3 weeks break right now happening for the Olympics. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, talk a little bit about the Olympics. The teams that we're gonna pay attention to, specifically, is Canada, because Macklin Celebrini is on it. Is on Team Canada. Also, pay attention to the United States because, because we're Americans. And then we got players playing on a couple of other teams. We got, I believe, Slovakia has what's his name? I'm blanking.
I can't remember his name. Sweden
84.
has Klingberg.
Yes, Sweden has Klingberg, and anyway, Regenda is who I was reaching for. I believe.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
since you're talking about the Olympics, I just wanted to say the note you wrote here, aged like milk, baby.
Yeah, it did. Which one?
The Lindsey Vonn. This.
Oh yeah. So that being said, Team Canada and United States, they both begin their hockey. The men's hockey tournament begins for them on Thursday. So the United States plays at noon. Team Canada, they have an earlier tip off. They play at 7:40 a.m. on Wednesday Pacific time. So
driving to work.
Yeah. We'll be on the road for those games. Maybe they'll be on the radio somewhere. I don't know. Get an Uber and stream it on your phone, but so you don't have to worry about driving. I don't know. So Lindsey Vonn for the Olympics, she was trying to make a comeback after being away for 8 years. So she'd been retired for 6. A couple years ago, she says, "I'm coming back for the 2026 games." She makes the Olympic team. She does it. She comes back. She, and then she tears her ACL on Friday, the January 30th. She still hopes to compete in the Olympics. She was a favorite for the podium before she tore her ACL, but she still does go down some practice runs, and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go. And so she goes in there, and she for official qualifying, she does begin her Olympics. She does count as an Olympian for 2026. It does count as her being an Olympian. But 12 seconds into that run, she crashes out and breaks her leg in several places apparently, and needs several surgeries. So her Olympics is over 12 seconds after it started officially. It's a bummer. I don't think she's going to make it for 2030, but it's a hell of an attempt, and oh man, it's a bummer that it just kind of ended the way it did, but like it sucks.
Her dad
It's
said that she should retire, and
yeah,
I
it's
second that.
It's the agony of defeat, right? That's, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. That's that old phrase from, the wide world of sports that they used
Yeah.
to do on ABC, when we were kids. This is the agony of defeat that they talk about right now. Like, you try to come back, you were a favorite for the podium. She was skiing really well heading into these Olympics too. Like, she was winning a lot of her races too. It was a bummer, man. Like, she was going to do it, like, too, if she had not gotten that initial ACL injury. And then here we go. It sucks, but this is the Olympics. This is what happens sometimes. It's a bummer. Here we are. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye out on other Olympic stories as they go throughout the week. And you guys can plug them in here, and I'm going to plug in whatever stories I see that interest us. And yeah, we'll talk about
hockey.
them as we go.
Women's hockey, man, they're favored to win the gold medal. So.
Yeah, the U.S. women, in their first 3 games, have allowed a total of 1 goal against them,
they're
and
dominating.
They've scored 15 goals, and they've spread it out too. It wasn't like they got 14 goals and then 1 and nothing. No, it's been a 5-1 victory and then 2 5-0 victories. Like, it has been, it has been a clinic they've put on. This is domination from start to finish the entire way so far in their qualifiers. And I am I've watched a bit of one of the games, and it's been really exciting to see the women's hockey team get the job done. Hillary Knight has been outstanding from what I've seen, the highlights, and then the game that I watched as well.
Absolutely.
Just jumping off the page, off the screen, because I'm reading. Oh my God. Yeah. So just Olympics, man. Tune in if you can. It's been really exciting to watch. Yeah.
I forgot to mention that there was a stat, since you brought up a stat, maybe think about it. The Seahawks, right? I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but for the postseason, they trailed their opponents the whole postseason for a total of 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Yeah, that tracks.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so I got another stat from the Super Bowl. Bad Bunny, while holding a football during his halftime show, traveled 124.4 yards with the football per Next Gen Stats. The Patriots rushed for 79 total yards in the actual game.
That was the joke that people made, that Bad Bunny had more rush yards at halftime than the Patriots did.
Yeah, no, but the Patriots, even factoring in the second half, didn't even break 80 yards. Bad Bunny was holding the football and traveled 124.4 yards per Next Gen Stats. That is bonkers. Also, that halftime show had 135 million people tuned in. It's the most watched halftime show since 2018 per NBC. So that's really cool. We love that. Also, teams to improve by at least 300 percentage points and reach the Super Bowl in one season after having a losing record. The Patriots this year did it. Obviously, they were dog shit last year. This year, they obviously made the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The last, we're talking about the Bengals. They, in 2021, they were 265 win percentage. They in 2021 they go 588 and make it to the Super Bowl. Basically, in the scenario I put out, to improve by 30% and then make the Super Bowl, and the prior year having a losing record, 13 teams have done that. Of the 13, only 4 of them actually won the Super Bowl. You're talking about the 1999 Rams. You're talking about the 2017 Eagles. You're talking about the 2001 Patriots and the 1981 49ers. So other teams that have done that and lost, though, the Bengals have done it thrice, because they did it in 81 and 88 as well as 2021. The the Carolina Panthers in 2015, the Falcons in 1998, the Niners did it in 2019, the New York Giants in 2000, the Patriots did it in 1996 as well. So the Patriots are on this list 3 times. They've been on the good end once and the bad end twice. So like this is a kind of a fun list that I stumbled upon. So they also had a huge list of the Patriots this year. They had 65% new roster turnover, and that's where I found this list. Is this team had the highest turnover in roster. The player turnover roster, the lowest was the 88 Bengals. The second high, the highest before this was the 2021 Bengals. They had a 48% roster turnover before that. So it's just kind of interesting to see, like, they basically just turned over the entire roster and made it to the Super Bowl from a bad team to a good team. So, you can get it done if you bring in the right people.
I remember when Sean Payton took over the Saints.
Yeah,
they turned that roster over too.
Yeah. Because part of that turnover was bringing in Drew Brees, right? So in 2006, the Saints went from dog shit to the playoffs, right? And so then they were a perennial playoff team. They ended up winning the Super Bowl in 2009. They don't qualify for this list because they were in the playoffs the year before. It took them a couple of years to actually get the job done to get to the Super Bowl, at least. But yeah, they were in the playoffs, like basically immediately because they turned over that roster. Like you said, actually getting that done. So yeah, just kind of fun stats. Just kind of closing out. What else did I screen cap? What other fun facts did I see? That was basically, but I guess that's it for me.
That's all I got, man.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Another fight broke out in the NBA, by the way.
Yeah, that happened earlier today as well. And I hope Colin Graff is having a good time on his break. That's it. I hope all the Sharks are enjoying their time off, and then take a couple weeks off, rest the body, get your mind right, take these couple of losses that you had to end this middle third, and then come back, get ready to grind this last third of the season, and then sneak into the playoffs, make some noise. And if the Sharks make the playoffs, I don't know how Macklin Celebrini isn't your Hart trophy, for league MVP.
Yeah, right? For sure.
I'm just saying. Okay.
We'll have to talk about this next week too. But the World Baseball Classic rosters were released this past.
Yeah. We'll talk. We can talk about that next.
I'll get those. I'll get those when we look over what we got going on here.
Yeah. We were preoccupied with the Super Bowl. We can talk about that next week. Okay.
For sure.
All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in. We had a little Chiefs sidebar out of nowhere. But thanks for the conversation. If you want to join the conversation, we record live every Monday. If you want to get alerts, hit the little bell, subscribe, get alerts for when we go live. If you don't have time to watch the entire hour, we break it up into smaller chunks as well for each team that we cover. We're Bay Area based, but we do talk about bigger, events at large as well, like the Super Bowl, for example. So just follow us on socials as well. SVT Sports Pod. Hang out with us, slide into the DMs. We would love to interact with all of you wonderful people. Have a great night. FJF, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, everybody.